On this video, I'm going to continue the Akkadian, inductive Akkadian grammar of Law 102 in Hammurabi's Law Code. Again, I appreciate Borger's transliteration, and I'll be using it in my own normalization and then doing my own inductive grammatical analysis of Law 102. We're sort of working our way through some of the law codes as we have opportunity or time. So it begins, Shuma Tamkarum. Let me just do it a phrase at a time. So Shuma Tamkarum would be if a merchant, a Tamkaru is the Akkadian word meaning merchant or businessman. And the Sumerian that we find in the original was Damgar, D-A-M period, capital G-A-R. Damgar meaning merchant. So if a merchant, Ana Shamalim, Ana Shamalim, and the Sumerian Shaman La. So the Akkadian, though, Ana Shamalim, that is for, or to, I should say, to a merchant assistant. Some have translated this to a trader, like the assistant of a merchant, Shamalu. So if a businessman or a merchant to a merchant's assistant, Kaspam, the Sumerian is Kubabar, capital Kubabbar, and Kashpam from Kashpu, we could render this as silver or money from Kashpu. So if a merchant to a trader is probably a fair way of translating it. So to a trader, money or silver or money, and then we have the next phrase, Ana ta'ad mi iktim. So Ana tad miktim. Ana meaning for a friendly favor. And notice the tad miktum becomes tad miktim in your genitive singular here. So for a favor, which would be doing something most feel as interest-free. For interest-free, and then we move to the next Akkadian transliteration. For a favor or interest-free, Itta din ma. Itta din ma is a GT perfect third masculine singular from nadanu. Notice the in of nadanu. It's like the pay noon verb in Hebrew. The in has assimilated, causing a doubling of the T. And nadanu is the root, and so in ta di in ma becomes itta di in ma, with this ta of the perfect, the t causing an assimilation of the preceding in of nadanu. So if a merchant money for interest free gives, and again, GT perfect, third masculine singular. So then we move on. Ashar iliku. Ashar would be where, it's from ashru, and I think we could render it where iliku, where he went. This is from alaku. It's a G preterite, a masculine, third masculine singular subjunctive. So where he went, and then we have B T ik tam, which would be B tik tam it ta mar. Where he went, if he basically a loss, B ik tam means loss, and actually it's from the nominative would be tik tum. And notice the ending, the tom ending, is showing an accusative singular. So if a loss, so if a merchant to a trader, if we want to translate it that way, money, and then gives interest free, for interest free has given, where he goes, a loss, and again, this is the accusative, bit ik tam. It itamar. Itamar is from amaru, is the root, and it's a GT preterite, third masculine singular, from amaru, to see, but here it means to experience. If he has experienced a loss. And then we continue, kaka'ad kubabar, kaka'ad kaspim. That is, kaka'ad would be the head or the principle, would be a good way to translate this. The principle of the money. Kaspim from kaspu, again a genitive singular, two nouns in construct. The principle of the money, ana tam karim, to the merchant that gave him this loan, to the merchant, uta ar, and dam gar is again the word for merchant, but uta ar is from taru, meaning to pay back. And here we have a D present, third masculine singular from taru. So he shall pay back. In other words, he shall pay back the principal of the money, is really what the text is saying. So if we translate it, then if a merchant, let me just go back here, if a merchant to a trader or merchant's assistant, money, and that's accusative, money, I'm reading it literally, for a favor or for interest free has given, Where he goes, that is, or where he went, speaking of the trader, where he went, a loss he has experienced. Then the principal or the head, the principal of the money, literally, he shall pay back. And translating it in a smooth way, I appreciate the translation by Meeks in the ancient Near Eastern text. So just to give it a smooth translation by Meek, I should say, it reads, if a merchant has lent money to a trader as a favor, meaning without interest, and he has experienced a loss where he went, he shall pay back the principal of the money to the merchant. So I want to just continue to work through some of these laws as I have the time. And I'm also doing a basic, simple grammar over what we've already done, if anyone would have an interest in that. And that basically holding it to about 10 minutes, talking through the epilogue of Hammurabi in like 10-minute lessons is what I'm doing in another series of videos. So I hope this is helpful, and thank you very much.